Just how many high-rise condo buildings are there in the city of Abbotsford? Now, this is a question that I get asked quite often from people that are thinking about downsizing or from people that have family members or friends that are thinking about downsizing in Abbotsford. And quite often, high-rise buildings are of interest because of the amenities and the option that you don't have to start the car to get to where you need to go. Well, in this video, I'm going to take you on a tour of the 8 high-rise condo buildings that happen to exist in the city of Abbotsford. And stick around, let's go check it out. All right, we're going to start off the tour at Summit Point. Now, Summit Point is located in central Abbotsford, and it happens to be located just across from Mill Lake, which is awesome for exercising and walking around Mill Lake if you're into a healthy and active lifestyle. Now, Summit Point at Mill Lake is located at 33065 Mill Lake Road, and it was built in 1995. There are a total of 17 floors in the building with 91 units. Now, the average sale price based on the last 12 months happens to be just under $550,000. Now, when we look at the amenities that Summit Point has to offer, they are absolutely phenomenal. The amenities include an exercise center, a guest suite, a workshop, an indoor pool, hot tub and sauna, and they have storage lockers that are a generous size. There are rentals allowed with no age restrictions, and pets are allowed, just no dogs. That's right, cats are allowed in the Summit Point building. Now, one of my favorite features about Summit Point is the location. It happens to be located directly across from Seven Oaks Mall, which you don't have to start the car if you're going to get groceries or you want to go to Starbucks and meet somebody or do your Christmas shopping, which happens to be an awesome feature. Now, parking here at Summit Lake is completely gated in the safe underground, and there happens to be EV chargers available too as well. So if you have an electric car that you need to charge, that is a phenomenal feature too as well. Now, let's go take a look at the second place on our list, which happens to be Mahogany at Mill Lake. Now, Mahogany at Mill Lake is the newest condo building on our list. That building was built in just 2018. Now, Mahogany at Mill Lake is located at 2180 Gladwin Road, and it was built by Quantum Properties. There are a total of 26 floors in the building with 152 total units. They have an average resale in this building just under $730,000 when we look at the 12-month average. Now, what amenities are included at the Mahogany at Mill Lake? Well, it happens to have geothermal heating and cooling, air conditioning, an indoor pool, hot tub, and fitness center, as well as a clubhouse room, a bistro, workshop, outdoor barbecue space, and 2 guest suites with storage lockers. Now, rentals happen to be allowed in this building. There are no age restrictions in this building, and pets are definitely allowed, both cats and dogs, which is, in my experience, one of the main reasons people consider living at Mahogany at Mill Lake over a lot of the other buildings. It's one of the only ones that allows dogs. Now, let's go take a look at the third stop on our list today. Now, for the third stop on our list, we are heading over to the Regency buildings. Now, there happens to be 3 different high-rise buildings in this community. There is the Regency 1, which is located at 3150 Gladwin. There is the Regency 2, which is located at 3170 Gladwin, and Regency 3, which is located at 3190 Gladwin. Now, when we look at the Regency buildings, each one happens to be in high demand and has something to offer that you would absolutely love. Starting with the Regency Park 1 building at 3150 Gladwin. This was built in 1990. There are a total of 17 floors with 95 total units. This building has an average sale price of just below $480,000 when we look at a 12-month history. Now, amenities in this building include an indoor pool, a hot tub with steam room, a fully equipped exercise room, large and small amenity rooms with a kitchen, billiards, shuffleboard. The building also has a guest suite and generous size storage locker. Now, in this building, rentals are allowed. This is a 55 plus building and it does not allow pets. Moving on, let's take a look at Regency Park 2. Now, Regency Park 2 is located at 3170 Gladwin here in Abbotsford, and this one was built in 1991. It also has a total of 17 floors with 93 units. And when we look at the average resale price in this building, we have an average resale price of just below $580,000 when we look at the 12-month average. Now, this building shares an amenity center with building 3150 that has that same indoor pool, hot tub, steam room, a fully equipped exercise room, a large and small amenity room with a kitchen, billiards and shuffleboard, as well as guest suites too as well, and a generous size storage locker. Rentals are allowed in this building, and this building, just like the 3150 building, is 55 plus, and no pets are allowed in this building. Now that brings us to the third Regency Park building, which is the 3190 address. And this building does not share an amenities room with the other two. In fact, it is actually on its own separate strata. Now the 3190 Regency Park 3 building was built in 1992. It has a total of 93 units and 17 floors in the building. Now, the average resale in this building is a little bit higher, just below $610,000 when we look at sales over the last 12 months. The amenities that are included in this building, although separate from the other two, are equally as nice. There is an indoor pool. There is a hot tub with steam room too as well, a fully equipped exercise room, and a large and small amenities room with a kitchenette, billiards, and shuffleboards. There also happens to be guest suites too as well, with generous sized storage lockers. Now in this building, the 3190 building, this is the only one that is not age restricted. So there are no age restrictions in place at the 3190 building, which is really popular with a lot of people, unlike the two other buildings. Now, as far as pets are allowed, cats only, no dogs. Now let's go take a look at the next stop on our list of high rises in Abbotsford, BC. Now we're heading towards central Abbotsford for this one. We're heading towards the Town Centre Tower. Now the Town Centre Tower is located at 32330 South Fraser Way. And this building was built in 1994. It has a total of 18 stories in this building with 54 residential units. And on the ground level, there are 13 commercial units as well. When we look at resale in this building, it has an average of $640,000 over a 12-month period. The amenities included in this building include air conditioning and central air. There is a bike room, a clubhouse. Of course, there is an elevator, an exercise center, a recreation center. There also happens to be a restaurant on the lower level and generous size storage lockers. Now, in this building, rentals are allowed. And one of the big features of this building, pets are allowed with no restrictions and no age restrictions, which happens to be high on a lot of people's lists. Now, a lot of people like the location of this building because it is so close to Central Abbotsford shopping. There are a ton of good restaurants nearby, like my favorite Greek Islands, and you can just walk across the street to get your groceries without having to start the car. Now let's take a look at the next high rise on our list. Now, the next stop on our list is Evergreen Village. Now, Evergreen Village sometimes gets forgotten because it is a smaller high-rise with just 12 stories, but nonetheless is still a high-rise. Now, Evergreen Village is located in central Abbotsford, and it happens to be just across from Freshco grocery store, as well as a handful of restaurants, including my favorite, Greek Islands. A lot of people like the location of this high-rise because of the convenience factor, not having to start the car when you're going and doing your shopping. Now, Evergreen Village is located at 31955 Old Yale Road, and it was built in 1981. As mentioned, there is a total of 12 floors in this building with 205 units, 13 of those units being commercial. Now, when we look at an average sale price in this building, they have an average sale price of just below $400,000 when we look at a 12-month average in the building. The amenities included in this building include an indoor pool, a hot tub, there's an exercise room, RV parking, and generous size storage lockers. Now, rentals are allowed in this building. This is a 55 plus building and no pets are allowed for occupants. Now, this is also one of the reasons why this building is usually selling a little bit lower. It is that age restriction, and it is the fact that no pets are allowed. Sometimes people with pets tend to skip the building. Now, let's take a look at our final stop on our tour of the high-rises in Abbotsford. All right, so we're at our final stop on our tour of high-rises, and we are at the Trethewey Tower. Now, the Trethewey Tower is located on Simon Avenue at 32440 Simon Avenue. This building was built in 1995 and has a total of 16 floors in the building with 55 units. Looking at an average sale price of just under $500,000 when we look at the 12-month average. Amenities in this building include an indoor pool, there is a hot tub, a sauna, a gym with a meeting room, there's a craft room and games room, a workshop with woodworking equipment, as well as a bike room and generous size storage lockers. In this building, rentals are allowed. It does happen to be a 55 plus age restricted building, and pets are allowed, but no dogs. So if you're a cat person, you will like this building for sure. Now, a lot of people who move and look at this building at the Trethewey Towers, they do so because it happens to be walking distance to a couple different pharmacies, doctors, and dental offices on the South Fraser corridor of the west side there. It is also home to a superstore, grocery store, which happens to be right down the street, as well as a whole bunch of different restaurants. There is sushi, there's Greek Islands on Langdon, and there's the Freshco grocery store right around the corner too as well. The location does not get much better than this. All right, that's it. I hope you enjoyed this tour of the 8 high-rises that exist in the city of Abbotsford, BC. I'm Joe Pratap with Remax. I shoot a ton of content and talk about what it's like to live here in Abbotsford. If you're thinking about moving to Abbotsford or you have any relocation questions, you can reach out anytime. The link below this video will take you right to my calendar so you can book a call with me. Thanks for watching.